Talking now about life and how to let go of the past and also move forward with your life and into the future with positivity. We're joined by Tanya this morning. Happy Easter, Tanya.
Thank you. Happy Easter to you as well.
It's so good to have a guest live in the studio that I can actually see face to face.
It is different, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
And thank you so much for your generosity. Sorry I couldn't eat those carbs before, but you came in bearing gifts. Very nice of you.
Croatian Easter bread.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I might take back my no. Have you had a great weekend so far?
Really nice. Lots of baking and resting. So, no, beautiful. Church, that sort of thing at Easter.
I told my mum I had to work this morning, so I couldn't make church.
Oh, we went Good Friday. It was lovely.
I need to go to church more, to be completely honest. When you're talking about all these things that you do for like baking and for your mental health, is that so important for life?
Oh, absolutely. Do what brings you joy in life. You know, a lot of people, though, don't know what that is for them. They still have to discover what that is. What brings me happiness? What calms me? And often it is creativity, people, family, friends, all that sort of thing, isn't it? Especially at this time of year.
It's a lot easier to say, just let go of the past, think positive for the future. In reality, like through experience and who you've had to talk to over your career, what are the main themes that come with that, and what are some of the hardest parts to work through of letting go of the past?
Well, there's so many feelings that people don't know how to deal with. It is grief, it is anger, it is resentment, it is what did I do wrong? And you come back to a place of shame. What have I done? What's wrong with me? And we dwell on it because it doesn't feel good. And part of the reason we dwell on it is because we don't know how to process those feelings and we don't know actually what to do with them. Sometimes we also get stuck in addictions. We get stuck into ways of running from those feelings. And then we don't know how to get out of it, which means we then don't know how to look forward. And we get into this place of believing it's too hard to move forward. I don't know how to. Where do I begin?
Is that when it's too late and you find yourselves in a really dark space? Like when you're in that zone, how do you get out of it? Is that when you actually need to reach out and get help and know that it's out of your control now and you need that support?
There are many things that drive people to go and get support. It's when they can't bear the pain. When the pain of staying stuck is worse than the pain of possibly getting help. You either hit a rock bottom or you have acknowledged yourself, I'm in such a dark place right now. Now I have to do something. So you get to that point of making a decision. Sadly, some people don't know how to make that decision, or they don't think it's even possible to get out of it. And that is where we as family, whānau, we want to come and be around people to help them see that. There are so many things that stop you. Sometimes people go, I know what it feels to be happy and joyous. I've felt that before. Maybe I can do that again. Okay,
yeah. So when you are in those zones and you are feeling that pain and you know that you want to try and get out of it, what are some tips? Like what do people need to do? Do you need to just acknowledge the current state that you're in and accept it? Is that a good way to bridge to find happiness?
I always say that acceptance is one of the best things that people can do. The 5 stages of grief, the last one is always acceptance. I say bring it to the front and accept this is what it is for now. I have to accept that this is the reality, but it doesn't need to stay this way. So like I said before, make the decision that your life is worth living. Make the decision that you matter and that life matters and that you are loved and that you are lovable and that you are enough. That might be where people need to get help, though. They may need to get some assistance for someone else to see who they are, to help them see it again. We forget, we go through a dark time, but then we forget about all the greatness that we've experienced and all of the wonderful things that we've already done in our life, and we just focus on the dark side. And that stops us. So when you get help, then someone else will help you to see that part of you again and to remind you. So there are so many tools and techniques to be able to do that, to build your personal foundation again and hold that. That sense of identity is what we need to do, is to remember who we are in the world and why we're here, to have that purpose that will drive you.
The old Kiwi classic, I think, is, slowly, if not all the way in the rubbish bin right now, of just harden up, mate. I think that people are now acknowledging their feelings a little bit more. Do you find that it gets more dangerous when people keep themselves so busy throughout the week just to hide it and disguise pain that they're going through, and then when a long weekend happens and they've got more time to themselves, do you feel like these periods are the most dangerous?
Yeah, that's why it's a great thing that we're talking about this today, because Easter, Christmas, other long breaks, when it's usually family orientated, if you are down, if you are alone, if you are suffering, then that's really accentuated right now. There are so many things that you can do. You can reach out to people who are close to you, people whom you trust. And if you are suffering at the moment, if you are feeling that right now, then I encourage you to do it, because what people often believe when they're in the dark place is that I don't want to live anymore. But what they actually really feel is, I don't want to live like this anymore. Yeah. And they can't work out that difference.
Because it's so clouded in that moment. Is that emotion that's driving that?
Yeah, that they just go into that dark place where they don't see that there is light.
Wow. So I don't know if this is a thing, but is there such a thing of like reverse loneliness, where I actually want to be alone and I can't deal with people being around me? Is that okay, and is that a healthy environment to be in?
It's always good to be okay in your own company. Okay. I like that personally. Sounds like you do as well. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
I try to disguise that wasn't me, but you've obviously seen right through that. Well done.
Well, and like what you were talking about before is, always staying busy. That is anything to run from the present moment. So I always encourage people, learn the skill of living in today. Learn the skill of living in the present moment. Because if you're not in today, that's when you're focusing on yesterday and all the stuff that happened yesterday that takes you into shame and guilt, or you're getting overwhelmed and anxious about tomorrow and the future. That hasn't happened yet. So learn how to stay in today, be present today, especially with your own company.
Wow. So Tanya's a life coach. If you just joined us this morning on the Sunday Cafe here on Magic Talk, she's talking about, how to deal with letting go of the past, owning what you've got, and leading you into a better future, but owning today. That's the main thing that I'm getting for
owning
now.
Today, owning who you are, owning your decisions from the past, owning everything. Until we take responsibility for our own lives, then we're feeling powerless. We think everyone else has got control, but
it's really on you. It's really on you.
Go within.
Have you found, like, through your experiences and through your career, that there's like some certain circumstances that stand out the most that really get New Zealanders feeling unhappy? Like, is it breakups? Is it finances? Is it?
Well, at the moment, a lot of people are struggling because they have lost their job. And they're feeling angry and bitter and resentful. A lot of people who have their own businesses are feeling the same, the pressure, because of everything that's happened in the world in the last year. So they are feeling, a lot of people are angry, actually. And they're also feeling trapped and out of control and powerless. So that is something that is really common. When relationships break up, people hang on to anger, bitterness. Those are actually the emotions. If that is surrounding you, I invite you to take a look at it and be willing to let them go, because anger and resentment and bitterness, that is what will eat you alive, and it'll ruin your life. It'll ruin your future, because you can just stay stuck back there.
Yeah, and you would, I suppose, if you don't let it go, you will take it into your next relationship.
You always do. You always
be
do.
Lingering. Wow.
Yeah.
So, just with the current Easter weekend, we're talking about loneliness. We're talking about owning the moment. Is there any takeaway tips that you can really get people that are listening to the show this morning to really own, to make them feel comfortable heading into a new week?
If you're feeling that you are in a bit of a difficult space, you are actually not alone. That is one thing that a lot of people feel, that it's me, it's only me. There are many, many people out there who are struggling right now, so don't feel that you're the only one, and there is help. There is someone who will hear you.
Okay, very nice. Hey, Tanya, thank you so much. If people do want to reach out and get help, is there any services, including your own, that they can they can get?
There is so much online. My website is tanyaunkovich.com, but on YouTube, there's so much stuff out there. If you Google, I need help with XYZ, it'll be there.
Yeah, you recommend those apps as well? Like, say, the Headspace apps and things that really help you find your peace? Do you...
It's not something I personally do. I know some people do. Yeah. I find that YouTube is usually quite a good resource to get help. But, I mean, there's so much out there, right? You put something in Google, it'll be there.
Something will pop up.
Yeah.
No, we really appreciate you. Thank you so much. And I will take you up on that offer and take your sweet treat that you brought in today.
Okay.
Because I am starving, and I didn't realize when you do talkback radio, there's no music, and it's Easter Sunday, which means there's no ads. So we're constantly talking.
Well, it does have protein in it, okay? There's lots of eggs and stuff like that in this, so just consider it good.
We had Nats Levy on the show earlier today to talk about fitness and well-being as well.
Fantastic.
So she said, don't overthink it. Eat what you want, moderation.
Absolutely. Enjoy it, the sacredness of it. This is Easter bread.
100%. Yeah. And I haven't had a hot cross bun this year. What's wrong with me? What's the plans for the rest of Easter? Are you out there doing anything else special with the family?
Visiting elderly parents in rest homes, actually. That's our day today. Our parents are in rest homes, so we're going to go and be with them for a little bit.
Amazing. How good is it to be able to travel around in a country where we're basically COVID-free?
We are lucky. Yeah. We are so fortunate.
Do you feel like that's helping people to feel a little bit more positive, that we're in a country where we can travel from one end to the other with no restrictions?
I think when you are feeling grumpy about things, remember that we actually have a lot of freedom here.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Once again, happy Easter.
Happy Easter to you.
You're amazing. That is Tanya, everybody. If you want to check out her website, it is www.tanyaunkovich, spelled UNKOVICH.com.